Hello everyone, welcome to my booktube channel. Today I want to do a book haul. I just visited a bookstore and I bought some books for myself, and I'm so excited to share what books I have bought. So it's mainly classics and two graphic novels that I have bought. As you know, classics, I love classics, so I just went overboard with my classics collection. So let me just show you what all books I have got. First up is Persuasion by Jane Austen. Now, if you have seen my previous video, you know that I have already read this book, and I also have another edition of the same book, but somehow I did not like it. It was a very plain edition, and this one, oh my god, this is like one of my favorite editions. This is by Everyman's Library, and this edition is so gorgeous. Like, I legit want to read the book again because of this beautiful edition. So as you know, Everyman's Library has this wonderful dust jacket, and inside for classics they have this green color book, and this texture is so nice. You see it, and inside also the font size is really good. Whenever I buy classics, I make sure that the font size is readable. I already wear glasses and I don't want that my number should go up, and that is why I make sure that the font is good. So I don't think Persuasion needs any more introduction. It's such an amazing work of Jane Austen, and I have already spoken about Persuasion in my previous video, and in the description box I will definitely link that video. Next up is the book that I really want to read before the end of this year, and that's Anna Karenina by Leo Tolstoy. I am so excited to read this book. This is going to be my Tolstoy reading project because I haven't read any of his works before this, and this book is chunky, it's huge, but it is also known as one of the greatest love stories in world literature, and that's why I'm really excited to read this book. I want to go into this book without knowing much, and I'll just get into it and see how it goes, although it's going to take me months to read this book because there are more than 900 pages. And okay, the font is really good. I made sure that when I got this book, I really like the cover, that the font is readable, as I do for all the classics. So yeah, excited about this book. Next up is another classic, and this is by Charles Dickens, and this is called Great Expectations. I know many of you must have already read this book, but I haven't, so I'm going to read it pretty soon. The best part about this book is this edition. This is my favorite edition of Penguin. It's called Penguin Drop Caps. As you know, D stands for Dickens, and here you will see the wonderful text is here. I mean, I love the pages. This is the colorful pages here. It feels nice to hold this book in my hand and read it. So I already have 3 more books of this edition, and this is my 4th book. I have Moby Dick, I have Shadow and the Wind, and I think I have the Joy Luck Club. So this is my 4th book from this edition, and I'm so excited to read. One thing I want to tell you is that when it comes to classics, it's not easy to read them, obviously, but if you invest in a good edition, I think it gives you an added push to read the classics. So I always make sure that to motivate myself to read classics, one of the main things that I follow is buy a good edition which is readable with regards to the font size, and edition which is aesthetic, as in it looks beautiful, so that you feel like you should hold the book in your hand. Okay, the next book is The CharterHouse of Prama by Stendhal, and I love this edition again. No points for guessing because it is Everyman's Library edition. It's so beautiful. I just love it. Let's remove the dust cover and see what color it is. Oh my god, it's dark maroonish color. Oh my god, this is so exciting. I love these editions. They're so pretty. I have a dream of collecting all the books ever published in Everyman's Library edition and just buy it for myself, and I'm just so excited about this edition. And see, the font is also very good. This is a book, I think this is a book which was written originally in French, and then it was translated in English. I know it's a classic, but apart from that, I don't know anything about this book. It was just an impulse buy, but I'm really excited to read it. and to speak about it once I'm done reading it. Okay, so I think the last book that I have in the classics section is this, The Secret Garden, and I am very excited about this edition. See how pretty it is. This was published, I think, because of Women's Day. It is like actually like a box set. It's called a Sisterhood, and it has other books also which are published under this edition, where you have Jane Eyre, you have Pride and Prejudice. So basically books which have some feminist theme going around. So this is a very famous children's classic, and I have not read it, so I don't think it's never late to read classics. It was published in early 1900s, so I don't think I am too late to read this. So I'm definitely going to read this book and let you know once I read it. Again, I don't know much about it. I know the plot is exciting and the book cover is amazing. So I'm just following my own rule, that is, I buy books which are really pleasing to read. So this edition is lovely, and hopefully I'll buy more books in this edition, the Sisterhood edition, and maybe complete the entire series. Okay, next up is some graphic novels that I have got. So the first one is Factory Summers by Guy Delisle. Now Guy Delisle is one of my favorite graphic novelists, and I really like reading his books. So the best part about his books are they are non-fiction. So graphic novels which are non-fiction, it's something that's very unique. So Guy Delisle travels a lot, and then he illustrates his experiences via these graphic novels. So the first book I think that I read of Guy Delisle was Pyongyang, where he went to North Korea and then he wrote about his experiences in North Korea. The second book that I read was Hostage, where he interviewed a person who was held a prisoner by some revolutionaries, I guess, and how he finally escaped. So it was very interesting. So Guy Delisle's books are like reading his diary entries but in an illustrated form. Now this particular book, Factory Summers, is about his experience when he starts working in a factory. So what all he learns, what all he goes through. So the illustrations are really nice. If you can see, they are colored also in some parts, and I like reading Guy Delisle's book, and I like collecting his books as well. We have a lot of mostly all of his books in my collection. The next book is also by Guy Delisle, which we got, and this is a fun book. It's called Even More Bad Parenting Advice. So this book talks about his relationship with his daughter. I haven't read it, but it's not much actually. You can finish it in one sitting. So excited to read this book as well. The last book that I have is Vincent van Gogh's Starry Nights. Now you all know that Starry Nights is Vincent van Gogh's epic painting, and this book talks about the process, how he drew it, and what was the thought process, how it came to be what it is, why it got famous. So basically it's an essay about the painting, and it's beautiful. It's not a graphic novel as such, but it's more like an illustrated book, I must say, and it's beautiful because it has some wonderful illustrations, wonderful paintings. So yeah, I really like this. And the last book that I have in my haul is this one. It's called the Jane Austen Writers Club. This book is actually written by Jane Austen's 5 times great niece, okay, who is a teacher in creative writing. This talks about Jane Austen's writing style, how she comes up with this witty dialogue, and it has some writing exercises for those who want to, write non-fiction. Well, I want to better understand Jane Austen's novels, so I have this plan of reading all her novels, and then I'm planning to read this book to better understand her thought process. All these books are from this wonderful bookstore called Trilogy in Bandra, Mumbai. I love this store. So if you're from Mumbai and if you happen to go to Bandra, I think you must visit Trilogy. The owners there are wonderful. They'll help you get the best book for yourself, and the collection is eclectic. So it's one of my favorite bookstores in Mumbai. So yeah guys, if you like this video, please do like, share and subscribe. Thank you for watching.